Hi, this is Aaron the Webguy, and I'm here with...
Alexie Aaron.
And welcome back to the Alexie Aaron podcast. More specifically, we decided we wanted to go a little bit more... how do you want to put it? A little more focused?
We're going to focus or an in-depth examination of the first book.
An in-depth examination, you say?
Yes.
I got that last time I went to the doctor.
Oh, no, not that deep.
Okay, not that deep. We're not mining for gold here. So what we're looking for is the Hauntings of Cold Creek Hollow, the very first book.
Yes.
Yeah. The very first book in the Haunted series.
Yes.
There was, I believe you had 3 Sinfin Lathan books before this?
But there were actually 2 Sinfin Lathan books.
Okay. So that's kind of the question, is that now we're going to try to... it's kind of assuming that if you're listening to this, you more than likely have read the first book. So if spoilers are kind of just going to be thrown about willy-nilly, yeah. Sometimes we try to wait to the end, but I don't think that's going to work this time because it'll happen very quickly. We're going to try very hard to make sure we keep within context of the first book, though.
Yes.
Okay, well then really, when it comes to the Hauntings of Cold Creek Hollow, the first Haunted series, the big question is, why write this story?
Originally, I was writing cozy mysteries, and I couldn't get the attention of publishers or agents. So I had this long walk with my web guy, and he said, why don't you try something different?
Yeah, something like that. I was, at the time, we were walking, and I was just thinking that it was a matter of... sometimes you have to try something that's outside your wheelhouse, I suppose, from what you originally done. And I don't think... did you have any idea that it would kind of resonate with readers the way it did?
No, it was quite surprising. When you think about it, I started the series, this basically was a one book, which I thought, here I'm going to write one book. And I chose a subject that I like, which is ghost hunting. And I wanted to kind of razz the ghost hunters. Not make fun of them, but, say, hello, I know what you're doing.
And that's a sci-fi show?
All ghost hunters. There's
ghost hunters.
There's the ghost hunters. There's every channel on cable you can find a ghost hunting team. So basically all of them. Mm-hmm. Okay. I didn't pick on one distinct group.
Okay. So the original kind of thing didn't come from parody, but more just you just kind of wanted to have fun with the concept of these ghost hunters.
Of ghost hunting. Basically, I started thinking, what would happen if I was involved in ghost hunting? And obviously, being very amateur on my end. So that's what the people that I wanted to write about were definitely amateurs. Maybe not, also people wanting to get on cable, get that 13.
Get on TV.
Yeah, get those 13 shows in there and make some money.
Mm-hmm. So that was interesting. That's interesting where it started. This is a little sideways, but the cover that assuming the web guy does his job. There we go. That'd be cool if I actually timed it up.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
That would be. But the cover. So why that cover? Why that tree? Why not something scary? Why not something animated?
I thought that basically, I think the most scary things are in the most genteel surroundings. The hollow basically is taken from the areas around here. That tree in particular, in order to get a good shot of that tree, I went out with my editor, and she leaned over the river embankment, and I was holding on to her coattails as she took that shot.
Wow.
Because it's a great tree. It kind of gives you an eerie idea that there's something going on underneath the surface.
Yeah, and because the book is based in Illinois.
Yes, Northern Illinois.
Yeah, just double checking because I have read the book. Okay, it's just been a little while. That's where it comes. So the original idea for the story that was really about the ghost hunters and
it starts with a sensitive, not exactly a medium, but a young woman who has the ability to see ghosts. She doesn't consider it an ability, or a gift. She considers it a curse, and basically had managed to eke out a little bit of a handyman living for herself amongst the town people. Basically, they have accepted her eccentricities when along comes this ghost hunting amateur group and blows her security out of the water.
Right. And shakes up her world that she finally got straight, if you will.
Yes.
All right. So that was kind of the original thing. So the thing is that I think we talked before is that you don't really write an outline. So how in the world did you keep the characters straight?
Basically by hearing their voices in my head. Each character has a definite voice.
That's not insane at all.
No, it is. Well, Murphy wasn't talking much in the beginning, but basically I had an idea of who Mia was. Basically social misfit. Yes, she starts off swearing a lot, but if you're not around people or in social situations, the tendency is to swear or to eat with your hands foods that maybe you need a fork and a knife for. So basically she's Mia, very raw Mia.
Gotcha. I have to admit, there's something about the bachelor lifestyle and being able to just eat meat with hands.
Yeah, not having to cut it.
It's a lot easier. Our ancestors were onto something. So, just right off the bone. Well, that kind of brings me to the idea is that what's different with the finished book from the first rough draft? The first time you put this out here, put it to your editor, or even reread it yourself, what changed from what you first started to put out there? What is the deleted scenes?
Basically, the characters changed a lot. I originally had 4 technicians. I had to take those 4 and consolidate them into 2. Mm-hmm. Ted and Beth, basically, for instance, Ted came from a nerdy guy and an Asian American guy. So I kind of put that together and made one character. And Beth is, again, conglomerate of the 2 characters she represents. The reason for this is my editor did not want me to have too many characters.
Do you remember the names of deleted characters?
No.
No.
Not anymore.
If I recall correctly, when there was editing, wasn't
I think there was a mark.
There was still catching of names that were changed on the second edit or something like that?
Well, yes. We did end up with 2 Martins, Ted Martin and Whitney Martin, and that's my fault. But, around here, you can have a lot of Smiths, you can have a lot of Martins, you can have a lot of Fitches, and you're not necessarily related. So that's the platform I'm standing on.
That's a good one. Yeah. It's you got to stick with your guns. So, now, you mentioned that before, that this was originally just going to be a standalone, one and done.
Yes.
When did it become a series? When did you know that you wanted to write a sequel to it?
Once you put together characters that were so good together, where there's banter, and I kind of wanted to revisit them myself, and I thought, well, let's put this group through a typical investigation. Not this great big investigation like it's in the Hollows. So it was Ghostly Attachments is when it became a series, because it was that book that kind of went wild and people bought a lot of it.
Oh, okay. So after that, you knew that it was a matter of like, oh, hey, people enjoy this, and you enjoy it. That kind of just made sense, right? Mm-hmm. So what was the tone you were going for initially? Was anything different? Were you between the rough and the finished drafts there? Well,
you mentioned the word parody. I was going for a parody of a ghost hunt in the beginning, and I ended up with making it humorous, but yet making it real. If the subject matter was not going to be real, or not be normal but paranormal, I wanted to make the characters as real as I could make them, meaning how they related to each other. Certainly, we don't have a lot of sensitives walking down the street, but to make her as real as possible, have her face heartbreak and frustration and everything else. I wanted it became more of a companion or a team book, though Mia is the main character.
Oh, okay. Well, that's so that's the question that I have right here. My little cards here. Mia. Why Mia? Why main character Mia?
I picked Mia because she was as far away from myself as possible. She's petite, blonde, green-eyed, busty, feisty. I wanted a character that was different, one that wasn't afraid to swear, one that didn't. Basically, she didn't need anyone. As we find out, she does need people, but she thought she didn't need anyone.
No, as the first book, yeah,
Yeah.
she finds that out, I suppose, yeah, over the journey, if you will. So you chose those physical characteristics. Short is interesting. Most times, people go with the whole tall Amazon thing.
Yes, I wanted
for someone who could be physically active or whatever.
Right, which I think a lot of times Hollywood will portray some of these ghost hunters and mediums, with the exception of Poltergeist, as being tall Amazonic women. I've known a lot of petite women, and I'm telling you, they are tough broads. And that's what I wanted for Mia.
I noticed some shows I was watching recently. I was realizing how many female characters have to, these are fighting women who are fighting in heels or, raised shoes, or like the boots are always the raised shoes. And I'm like, why do they do that? Like, this seems like a very impractical way to fight.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think you can really walk in. I mean, no, I don't know that not like a stiletto heel, but like a thick heel or whatever.
A chunky heel, yeah.
Yeah, but still, it just seems like, is it uncomfortable? I mean, is your foot like in that weird cramped position? Okay, this is probably off topic, but
yeah, it's a little off topic. I'm 5'9". I don't wear heels that often. When I put them on, I curse the people that have made them.
Well, the torture devices.
I guess they are,
right? Yeah.
Unless you're.
But you make your calf look good. That's the whole thing, right? That's what I always heard.
I'm sure that impresses the ghosts.
Yes. If only Mia wore pumps. Gotcha. Okay. Well, more about Mia, I was thinking, is that we kind of have a trinity or three different, more than love triangle, quadrangle, whatever. Excuse me. Between Bert, Whitney, Murphy, kind of going on. So why it's, the spoilers here, of course, but why doesn't the handsome sheriff or the handsome ghost, a mystery man, kind of win the day? Why is Bert?
Well, Bert, for me, represents every man. I love chubby guys. And also, Bert listened. Bert brought her out of her seclusion, took her off her sanctuary, and got her living again. I think, Bert really likes her. I think their relationship went a little fast. But again, Mia is a 20-some young woman who has basically been out of the social realm for a long time. She doesn't know how to behave. Whitney was her high school crush. But he was married. And throughout the book, he lost his wife, and he blames Mia for her death. Because It was her relationship with these ghost hunters who he felt stirred everything up, even though it was rising, well before they arrived.
Okay.
And why not Murphy? I'm not writing a paranormal romance. I know a lot of you
not yet
may like the whole idea of a ghost and a human interacting. It has never appealed to me. That's why Murphy would remain a friend.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't know that. You never know what's going to happen in the future.
Well, as of this book.
As of this book, okay. I'm going to say, got to leave some mystery, yo. Well, that kind of brings me around to the villains of the book. We have ourselves Richard Steele. What do you envision in your mind's eye, or when you're writing? What are they like?
Richard Steele is a very arrogant human being. I would have picked him from a couple in my life. Corporate, raider type of human being. Even though, obviously, in his day, he was not a corporate raider. He was a member of the Hellfire Club. Basically, very arrogant. Everything it was all about his needs and what he wanted. And he was very charismatic and brought a whole town worth of people down with him.
Right. Okay. So that was kind of where you're going with that. And he's the not the true threat. He's the under threat, or that's totally how that sounds.
There was a little bit of a twist.
A little bit of a twist. Now,
yes.
The twist is the hag.
Yes. The hag. Well, they call her the hag, is some people use that for a witch, but I don't like to use witch because it insults Wiccans. She's the hag. She was the woman that was banned from her village, and she died with such hatred that over hundreds of years grew to a power, and she used that power to influence Richard Steele to do what he did. So he basically is a puppet of the hag, as Jerry soon became.
Oh, okay. Well, that's. I mean, when you look back on the book, there's definitely a clear difference between our peeps, ghost hunters who kind of roll in, and when Mia encounters Father Santos's group of professionals. Was that intentional? Was that part of the original parody idea, maybe?
Well, the idea is that they're way over their heads. They are dealing with things that aren't just cars or toys that are rolling across the floor, or poltergeists at the most, or spirits that you can't hear unless they're talking into a device. You're dealing with an active paranormal situation that could rapidly spread outward, and more humans could have been infected, and it would just keep moving outward and outward. So Father Santos group comes in. He is the hero of the ghost hunters on the internet. Most people hadn't even seen him. He was the rumor. And here Father Santos was going to come in and help them. He brought with him Mia's aunt, who is a very strong, sensitive Beverly, and her paramour, Gerald Shem, who's a wheeler dealer. He trades favors. Very powerful that way. And Angelo. At this point, Angelo, Mia has no idea what Angelo is.
Other than he's very handsome.
He's very handsome, very tall.
I noticed the theme. There seems to be very handsome men in your books. What's that about?
Well, they're my books. I can have handsome.
Oh, is that it?
I think all men are handsome.
What, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Well, there's hope for a Jake yet.
There you go.
Revenge. He's gonna kill me. But so that's the thing. So really, you just mentioned the characters, and I do remember them. But how the heck do you? Because this is just the first book, and just from our talking here, we're at 10 characters now. And some of them got deleted. Some of them had to get deleted because of it. So how do you keep them all straight? Eventually, I know we started working on a glossary, but before the glossary came about, what was your secret?
Well, for the first several books, I just try to keep them in my head and reread what I've written. But I hear them.
You hear them?
I hear them. When I start to write, I kind of hear them. I can't, if something's not right, it's almost as if they tell me, this is not something I would do. Such. I started with 3x5 cards.
Oh yeah.
And I would write down, okay, this is Ted. He's kind of a techie guy, very into trivia. Uses the word dude a lot. Dude. And I would write that down. And I think I had trouble with eye color. I couldn't remember what color people's eyes were, so I had to go back and reread my own work.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, that's interesting. How many times have you read your first book?
I would say 20.
Well, wow, you really think at the end it was 20 times?
Yeah,
My
easily.
God.
And I still find mistakes.
Well, that's what it is, the first book of the series, but it's hard to keep it all straight. But you reread it. Wow. That's see, that shows what it's like when you're writing a series. You have to go back you have to go back to the beginning.
Well, the one reason that I do that is that what you find if you're reading this book or you finished the Hauntings of Cold Creek Hollow, there are things in that book that I will use throughout the whole series, and I decided upon that actually in the second book, because I kept saying, "Oh, this would be great, this would be great," and I kept it in mind, and it almost seemed like a story arc formed in my head that I wasn't aware of until I started writing, because it would fit in so nicely to the point where I actually brought the Hollow back in the middle house.
Oh, okay.
But that's spoiler.
Well, that's in the future.
That's in the future.
That's in the future. Now, it's not a spoiler to say because the title of the book is The Middle House, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
So that's not too bad of a spoiler, I gotta say. So I guess really is there's a couple questions that was really just kind of wrapping up. Is there anything about the first Haunted book that if you had the ability to change and move back and just take it a different direction or something now, knowing what you know now with your later on books, is there something that you would change, or do you think it's how it came, and other than editing or those sort of little things?
Oh yeah, outside of editing and typos.
Story based.
In the story, no, I think that it's because it developed organically. It came to me, and I'm writing. It's almost like it's coming from head to fingers, and I'm typing it, and I'm entertaining myself at the same time. I think it's an entertaining book. I think that it could have been funnier in the beginning, maybe. But you don't know that. I didn't know I was going to write a funny book. I didn't know I had a sense of humor.
You didn't know you were funny.
Yeah.
No.
I may not be.
She is quite funny, folks. We have a lot of laughs around here at Blish Cottage, home, house, work, office, that it is. But yeah, okay. Well, that's the thing. That's really kind of our any final thoughts on the first book, or do you think you've kind of covered everything?
Well, I'm as you can, people that might go back and to the Zon and read reviews, you're going to see a mixture of reviews. It's not for everybody. The problem with the first book was this. There wasn't, when I started with Amazon and Barnes & Noble, etc., there wasn't a good place to put it. So the only place it could go is horror. And it's very light horror. I can write something quite violent and vicious, but my editor quit. But as far as it's a ghost story, but it's more paranormal, and it's a light paranormal. I would almost wish if there was a light, humorous paranormal genre.
Yeah, a more specific genre. So
Yeah.
so the red more is the fact that unfortunately, if it's scary, it's horror, and that's it's very simple classification, at least early on.
Well, that's the only place they could put it. Then later on, they gave us the ghost genre. But that was tied to religion and spirituality, which I can't figure out.
Yeah, because
I'm not trying to write a religious book.
Well, I think it's tough because you wouldn't want to see someone's beliefs be right next to something that is clearly a work of fiction.
Yes.
That's odd. That is an odd choice. But that's that's the way it is. It's hard to find I know I have my own personal issues with tags or labels, if you will. It's hard to label. It's hard to label the books down. Really, we have an adventure that it's got this small amount of parody to it at the beginning, and it's got this heart and this comedy and this feel. And I mean, you don't think the first book necessarily is as funny as some of the books preceding it, but you got this banter between characters that really most of the time when I think of horror or I even think of supernatural type stuff, I don't think of anything comedy. I usually think of suspense, and I think of don't open that door. Why are you so dumb? Why are you dumb? Stop doing that.
Stay away from the door. But it's funny when a lot of times I will relate my own experiences in the book. I am, in a sense, I am like Mia. I would not wait. If I heard a sound in the basement, I probably would fling the door open, go down and say, what the heck is going on down here? Or I would leave the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you start seeing things moving around in your house and you're uncomfortable, I would leave.
Which reminds me, this is coming out the 20th of November, getting close to Thanksgiving. Happy American Thanksgiving. Canadian Thanksgiving was months ago.
October?
Yeah. Or a month ago, or whatever it was. But speaking of just the house, this, being my sidebars, the winds in Illinois. My goodness, they can just the pressure changes and the winds beating against the house, and I know I in particular at the end of the not cul-de-sac but the end of the wind tunnel, the pressure in this house changes. I swear I was up late last night. That's probably why I sound the way I do, and I kept swearing to God that there was doors opening all around me. I that was my explanation, was the wind. Okay, so
you don't feel like
I'm hoping it was the wind, because I kept, because I'm trying to go to the refrigerator and I'm trying to get myself a late night snack. Okay, which and I'm hearing okay, it's like I kept thinking that doors are opening, and it's like, okay, that's not creepy. That's not
well,
creepy.
You should hear it in the basement.
That's true.
The wind howling. Right. One of the reasons I write in the basement, because it's a bit creepy. There's only my light where I'm writing, and the rest I look out into the depths of the basement, which is full of shadows, and you can almost imagine anything.
That is true. That is a fun little point to mention, that even without trying, if we come down the stairs, we have a 90% chance of scaring Alexie if she's right.
Oh yes, and they have
and
over and over.
But I don't try to. I'm just like, hey, would you like a sandwich or something nice? And you're just like, oh.
Or my editor, the Red Pen, came down dressed as the woman in black from the movies. She didn't make any sound. All of a sudden, she was there. Now, if something's approaching me, like I have seen things in my lifetime, no problem. But if all of a sudden something's there, like it just boom, it's there, scares the heck out of me.
Yeah, jump scare, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, scream scare. That's why I've been invited to go on some interesting haunts with some people. And I says, you sure you want? I'm a screamer.
We will try to take that in the context that it was given.
Oh, please.
So, basically, here we go. I guess, except that Thanksgiving, the last little bits I wanted to go out is that there was a couple questions from readers. Not a lot, because people were kind of focused, we haven't directly asked specific questions. So when you ask, say, hey, questions, and it's kind of a catch-all, but there were a couple. One of them was Father Santos and Sheriff John Ryan. There is a connection in this first book.
Yes. And
is that perhaps something that may come up again?
I'm thinking strongly, depending on time and projects, of writing a novella where they met and novella. The situation they were in, and why would this gentleman, former military gentleman, John Ryan, how all of a sudden did he basically what their connection is between Father Santos. Because Father Santos has been an exorcist probably from the beginning. Mm-hmm. So what was their connection? What brought them? And I do mention in a later book a little bit, but I think I'll expand upon it and make it a novella. Okay,
so that answers the other question, I suppose. So, Peeps Novellas, it's been
yeah.
Sorry, that's a terrible joke. I stole that from Comedy Bang Bang. But it's been a year since. Has it only been a year for this novellas?
I think so.
Yes, but you haven't written novellas in a while. I know you are currently on the 18th
18th book.
Okay, making sure. I don't have enough fingers here anymore, okay? There's a lot of...
Did somebody take two of them off?
Yeah, I'm all thumbs here. Or no thumbs here. So that book is currently being written.
Yeah, it's almost done.
It's all... Oh, there you go.
The first draft is almost done.
Oh, there you go.
The very rough first draft. Extremely rough.
Extremely rough first draft, meaning the oh dear God, getting it to editor and such.
Oh no, actually, I have to go through it first. For those that time me and what I do, here's the formula.
Oh,
I write a book.
We're getting the goods. We're getting the goods here.
I write a book, and then I have to set it aside because if I were to reread it, I wouldn't see errors.
Yeah. Too close to it.
Because it's in my head.
Yeah.
It's still in my head.
Living in it.
So I will. That's the time that I would read other things, and then I go back and I correct it, which takes about a week. Mm-hmm. It takes me a month to write a book and a week to correct it, and then I have to get it on the editor's schedule, which takes about a month. Beta reader, he'll knock that off in 2-3 days. Normally, he doesn't sleep once he starts reading because he gets wrapped up, which is really cool. He does get wrapped up in the book.
That's true. The beta reader is
loco.
There's a lot of time. I mean, I personally think I'm the most efficient and necessary member of the team.
Oh yes.
But the beta reader, I gotta tell you, that guy just goes through.
He'll drop anything he's doing.
Yeah, that's true. Anything.
See, that's why people have asked to be a beta reader. You don't want that job. Because I might come to you in the middle
and expect it to be done. Like it's been like, well, hey, it has been 10 hours. What are you up to? You know? It's
actually, yeah, and I will kind of lurk outside the door because I don't know if the jokes are going over or the cute things are cute or whatever. He won't allow me to sit and stare at them.
I've seen that once before. That doesn't go over well.
No.
Just waiting around. Did that work? Did that work? It's like someone watching behind you when you work, I guess.
Well, anyway, after he gets the book, he'll present any questions, any mistakes, errors,
and then
to fix
the final smooth, like, whoops, we forgot something that even after 2 edits didn't get through.
Yes, and we put it together. Then I have to put it together and send it to Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and then it's available. So usually the process is about 3 months for a book. I've done it in 2 months, but I am crazy.
You are a little crazy. Yeah, that's, I mean, not just, well, in a general sense, yes. And, trust me, guys, I'm right next to her, okay? She gives me the crazy eyes every now and then, just like Orange is the New Black. She, little crazy, but so it's a turnaround process of about 3 months to get that down. And it's funny, I know we started on Hauntings of Cold Creek Hollow, but sometimes, believe it or not, folks, this isn't acting. I honestly just enjoy these conversations. Heck, it's some time I get to talk to my mother. What can I say?
Yes.
Because she's writing, and then I'm busy.
I'm always writing. Our schedules are. My schedule starts at
yeah.
I'm starting work at 5:30. He's probably gone to bed at 4:30.
Well, I'm not that bad. Not generally speaking. This last night, I'm hearing doors closing, bloody ghosts, perhaps.
Well, you don't know. You don't know. Did somebody bring something into the house? There's that sugar man.
There's packages being delivered constantly to this house.
What's coming in?
I'm just saying, if
that UPS guy looks a bit
I'm
shady.
just saying, I'm no longer going to sign for any packages from the Congo covered in blood. That was Aqua Hunger Force. Anyway, got to give credit where I steal the joke, but see, no one's going to know that joke. So anyway.
Yeah, well, we had the problem in Royal Palm from the doorknob.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Be careful when you are anything that's pre-owned. Oh, hey, you know what? My car is a pre-owned car. It's a used car.
The day it comes into the house is the day you're in trouble.
It's the day. Okay, so if I drive through the garage,
you're in trouble anyway.
Well, I'm in trouble.
You and Murphy. Oh, yeah. By the way, the first book, it was written about Mia, and what has changed is from the rough draft is Murphy was just a static ghost. He became a hero, and I totally fell in love with him. He's a pain in the ass now.
Okay, we'll have to talk about that because you just dropped. That's just like saying.
I'm just teasing. How about
okay.
I get all this hate mail now?
Oh.
No, he started off to be a very silent character. Maybe talks a couple words because to communicate, to push through the veil is a lot of energy, so he didn't talk. And the more the gentleman has power, the more he talks. But also, since he is a character and does come from my mind, he does talk to me a lot.
Have you considered the cracks of the axe in Morse code?
Oh, yeah, we have done that.
Oh, wow.
Somebody doesn't read.
What? That is a secret. They don't know that. I'm the person that gets the spoilers because I'm going to tell you guys straight. I'm on book 3. Okay? So when we get to book 3 of this podcast, I'm going to have to either be more well-read or I'm going to have to be coming up with something. Yeah, you know that part with the guy and the thing and the stuff?
Well, see, now's the time. Basically, we've kind of like gone over time here, and I apologize. But now's the time for you to ask questions. Send them to Alexie Aaron Biz
At Gmail?
at gmail.com because that'll go to the web guy, not to me. But ask questions about ghostly attachments or Sand Trap or Darker Than Dark or the novellas. That's fine. We're going to try to do them in order. And you can even put things that you didn't like in them. That's fine. Just put it in the email message, and the web guy will take care of them.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good.
And if you hate this, let us know too, and we won't do another one.
Oh, no. How could they hate it? I'm here. Are you kidding me? Listen to this smooth baritone voice. No, yes, we definitely are over time. It's one of those sort of things where I think I'm holding you at ransom here, actually. I'm just enjoying the conversation. So that's what happens. What can I say?
Okay.
So I think she's done with me though. Anyway, we're all smiles here. So happy Thanksgiving that's coming up for everyone.
Yes.
And hope that everyone has a happy Turkey Day.
Mm-hmm.
Turkey Day.
Football.
Oh, that's right.
For those that don't like football, just consider it. That is the horror you have to put up to have that good meal.
Like, yeah, that's sure, something like that.
And may the Bears win.
May the Bears win. Yeah, we need to have our side thing of just us complaining about the Bears or talking about them.
No, that's not this crowd.
It's not this crowd?
No.
You sure?
No, I guarantee you. I think I have one reader that is a Bears fan. That's from Green Bay, and there's a Timya Vikings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's not cool. In fact, if you're a Packers fan, just stop buying the books.
No.
What? Is that wrong?
It is wrong.
Don't say that?
Don't
okay.
say that.
No, all people are welcome.
We
even
love you.
cheeseheads.
We love cheeseheads.
All right. Well, from Aaron the Web Guy and
Alexie Aaron.
This is the Hauntings of Cold Creek Hollow / Alexie Aaron podcast. And yeah, signing out.
Yeah, have a good day.
Yeah, take care, y'all. See you next time.